welcome to Herald TV News Bulletin with me, Charlene. India was on Tuesday, August 16, suspended by FIFA for undue influence from third parties and stripped the country of the right to host the Under-17 Women's World Cup scheduled for October. This is the first time the All India Football Federation has been banned by the FIFA in its 85-year history. The suspension will be lifted once an order to set up a committee of administrators to assume the powers of the AIFF Executive Committee has been repealed and the AIFF administration regains full control of the AIFF's daily affairs. Sports administrators, coaches and sport lovers reacted with dismay to this major development.
India was on Tuesday, August 16, suspended by FIFA for undue influence from third parties. FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup 2022, scheduled to take place in India from 11 to 30th October 2022, cannot currently be held. FIFA, though, is not closing all options for India. It said it is in talks with the Sports Ministry and hopeful of a positive outcome regarding the women's age group showpiece event. On May 18, the Supreme Court had ousted Patholi Patel as AIFF president for not holding elections due in December 2020. The Supreme Court appointed a three-member committee of administrators headed by Supreme Court Judge A.R. Dave to manage the affairs of AIFF. The committee of administrators also had to frame its constitution in line with the National Sports Code and model guidelines.
I think the matter is with the court. I fully believe in transparency and transparency and timely what we were supposed to do, which was not done earlier. But now at the moment it is sub judice court and the FIFA. So I think we will have to wait for the decision. But I believe in what happened over the years. Let us wait for the court decision to come now. I mean, this between them what is going to happen now.
Okay.
Elections, if the elections are held, board is formed.
Yeah.
Something might come up, no? Again.
Yeah.
Yes. Let the issue between FIFA and the court settles.
Okay.
And to come to one conclusion.
Yeah.
Yes. And we'll be very happy once AIFF board is formed.
I am a pyramid skills coach educator for India, and since I've heard that FIFA has banned the All India Federation, I was totally in shock, and I was very sad to hear this. This should not happen in India. India was developing now in all football perspective, and hearing this, I was very sad to. It was very sad to hear this that FIFA has banned this. This was total disaster, and this will be catastrophe in all over India. I hope FIFA will lift the ban soon, and India will prosper in all the perspective. And secondly, the World Cup Under-17 Women's was supposed to held in India. That is not happening, and that is total loss for an Indian football perspective. Thank you very much. Hope so. We will have a better developed Indian football in near future.
ह्या वर्साक आमच्या गोंयांत अंडर-17 वुमन्स वर्ल्ड कप जावचें आसलें. ते कांय कारणाक लागून ह्या वर्साक अंडर-17 वुमन्स वर्ल्ड कप जावचें ना. आमकां खूब दूख भोगता. ह्या वुमन्स वर्ल्ड कप गोंयांत जाल्लें जाल्यार आमकां बरे इंटरनॅशनल प्लेयर्स पळोवंक मेळटले आसली. तांची बरी टॅक्निक्स पळोवंक मेळटली आसली. पूण हें आमच्या नशिबांत ना. कांय कारणाक लागून हें वर्ल्ड कप फुटबॉल जावचें ना. आमची चेडवां, आमची भुरगीं हे वर्ल्ड कपाक पळोवन जायतीं खुशाल जातलीं आसलीं आनी खेळूंकूय मुखार सरतलीं आसलीं. हे वर्ल्ड कपाचे वुमन्स आमच्या गोंयांत 2 क्वॉर्टर फायनलो, 2 सेमी फायनलो आनी हेरूय मॅची जावचे आसले. पूण हें सगळें फकत स्वप्नांच उरलीं. हें सगळें उमत्या कळशार उदक जालें.
Clinton D'Souza, Prasad Polji and Aditya Bidre for Herald TV.
Ponda police arrested one Kaibuddin Ali, 43 years, for allegedly insulting the national tricolour. Ali is supposed to have hoisted the national flag below a green flag. The flag was hoisted near a masjid. Ali hails from Zigdimol, Kurti Ponda and is booked under Prevention of Insults to the National Honour Act 1971.
Ponda police arrested one Kaibuddin Ali, 43, for allegedly insulting the national tricolour. Ali is supposed to have hoisted the national flag below a green flag. Bureau Report, Herald TV.
Rail Vikas Nigam Limited senior personnel who descended to a very festive Velsav and trespassed into private properties while people were celebrating the feast of the Assumption of Our Lady and the Independence Day were chased away by the members of Goensa Ekwot and the locals. Provocative actions by RVNL will not be tolerated by the villagers who have vowed to protect their ancestral land against coal transportation along the coastal belt and towards the hinterland in the east of Goa.
Rail Vikas Nigam Limited senior personnel who descended into a very festive Velsav were chased away by members of Goensa Ekwot and the locals. The locals were celebrating the feast of the Assumption of Our Lady and the Independence Day. The villagers who have vowed to protect their ancestral land will not tolerate any such actions by the RVNL. The recent Panchayat election results have shown how the locals have vented their anger through the ballot and elected members of Goensa Ekwot and its allied organizations. Despite this, an insensitive administration is pushing forward a destructive project in an area where the local economy is dependent on tourism, coconut farming, paddy farming, and fishing, all of which will cease to exist along with the thickly populated heritage areas.
Today RVNL was here and we wonder what they were doing on a day which is considered very sacred to all Indians, the Independence Day of India. When our members of Goensa Ekwot and the villagers confronted them, they had no words. They were they just got into their vehicles and they went away. So we as the villagers want to know why time and again these people are coming without intimating the Panchayat. We have a local body, and the local body which now will be formed in a week's time, it consists of the persons who have been elected by the villagers who are against double tracking from the Goensa Ekwot team. So, despite knowing that there is opposition to double tracking out here, still they are coming to our areas and trespassing into private properties which are not even under the acquisition at the moment. So, we want to send a clear message from Goensa Ekwot. Please keep off our land.
आमगे लोक आहा तो तेज फाटल्यान गेलो लोयचारपा सो ते तेज तोंड फकत बंद दोन आहलोले एंड आमगे मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव आहलो इलेक्शना कंटेस्ट करपा की आमकां डबल ट्रॅकिंग नाक म्हण सो बिकॉज इट इज ते हें जाता आमगे गांवची लोकां आनी हेल्था एनवायरमेंट ऑल्सो स्पॉयल जाता.
Today being an Independence Day, it is very sad to see that the RVNL is doing survey in our private properties, and we have to rush after them and tell them to go away from here. It's very sad, and I have pity on all the people staying along the tracks.
Aditya Bidre and Carsten Miranda for Herald TV.
A large number of people were seen crowding at the Corporation of the City of Panaji Councillor building on Tuesday to get licenses for the annual Ashtami fair. The fair will be held from August 17 to August 30th along the Kampal Promenade in Panjim. With just 200 stalls up for grabs, the stalls are offered on a first-come, first-served basis.
The annual Ashtami fair will be held from August 17 to August 30th in Panjim. The CCP has allotted 200 stalls of 100 meters each. A large number of migrants were seen queuing outside the CCP to get a license for stalls.
आमचे आतां आश्रमी फेरी आसता न्हू सो आमी अबाउट 17 ते 30th लेगून करपाक केला 15 दिसांक केला 15-16 दीस जाता सो आमी इनिशियली आतां हे सायडीक घातल्या आमच्या ऑपोजीट डॅम्पोसान स्टार्ट केल्या आनी आयनॉक्साच्या फुडल्यान घालतले सो आमचे 10 मिटरांचे एक शॉप केला आमी एक स्टॉल केला सॉरी 10 मिटराचे स्टॉल केला आनी त्या प्रमाणे इवन आमकां आतां हे येतले पळय फर्निचराचे येतले ते व्हडले स्टॉलांक येता सो तांकां लेगून आमी तशेंच दितले 10चे दितले तेणी 2 घेवप 3 घेवप कितली घेता पळय तितली घेवप सो त्या प्रमाणे करतले.
ओके कितले स्टॉल आसा तुमी ते फावटी दितले?
आमी अबाउट अरावंड म्हाका दिसता 200-250 जातली.
250
हय हय
पूण सकयल लोक पळयल्यार म्हाका दिसता 300 मोर
ना
दॅन
पूण आमी आहा तितलें दितले आगे पणजेक दिवंक शकना न्हू कितले आमचे सदांचे पळय आमचे हे आहा स्लॉट्स आहा तितलेच दितले मागीर उरलेल्यांक परते धाडटले
मनीस एवरी इयर तेच आसता काय डिफरंट लोक अप्लाय करता हेका
ना आमी कितें केलां मोस्टली प्रेफरन्स दिला एवरी इयर येता पळय तांकां
पयलीं
हय आतां न्यू कोण आहा पळय तांकां एडिशनल जाले जाल्यार दिले
तांचो डेटा तुमचे कडेन आसा पयलीं कोण येता तांकां कार्ड बीट दिता तुमी
आमचे आहा डेट आहा आमचे कडेन आदलो हय हय आनी तेच लोक येता न्हू आमचे मुडगांवकारूच येता न्हू चडशे
ओके
मुडगांवकार म्हापशेकार येता आनी मागीर आमी ते दुसऱ्यांक दिता
पूण अशें कितें जाता जेन्ना म्हज्या नांवार घेवन हांव दुसऱ्यांक चलोवपाक दिता अशें कितें आहा
ते आतां पळय हिंगासर ते येयले आधार कार्ड घेतले फॉर्म घेतले आनी गेले सो ते मागीर आतां कितें कोणाक दिता कितें करता आमी ते चॅक करूंक वचना
मागीर चॅक करता दिल्या उपरांत तुमी
ना ना आमी थिंगासर हेजेर वचोन ते मेजरमेंट पळयता आनी ताका चार्ज करता हय
ते पळयना
फीस थिंगा घेता फीस थिंगा घेता
ओके तेन्नाय तुमी पेपर चॅक करता
पेपर चॅक करता
Sagun Gowdy for Herald TV.
August is a month of sweet festivities in Goa, from Nag Panchami to the feast of Our Lady of Assumption on August 15th. Hindus and Catholics alike in the state indulge in sweetness by making patholios, a ritual passed down for generations in the Goan kitchens.
Taking this tradition to the next level, Zero Archery Club Goa on Monday organized a patholio making competition. Usha Nadvekar claimed the first prize, while Spandan Pashre and Brijesh Kumari claimed the second and third prize respectively.
Brijesh Kumari, you can clap a little louder. Thank you so much. That's the third place. Brijesh Kumari, thank you so much. The second place goes to Spandan Patholi. Come on people, put your hands together for the second place winner, Spandan Patholi. The first place goes to Usha Narvekar. Come on people, louder. Patholi, the traditional delicacy of Goa, and they have done.
Inacio Narona for Herald TV.
Chandor Siemens Trophy football tournament took off in a grand style on Sunday after a gap of 2 years due to COVID pandemic. At the inaugural match, Father Agnello Youth Sports Club Paroda defeated Varka Sports Club 6-1 and moved into the quarter-final of the Chandor Siemens Rolling Trophy organized by Chandor Club at Chandor Ground.
At halftime, both teams were on a level with 1 goal each. Shelton Fernandez of Paroda scored in the 20th minute. Jobin Cardozo equalized for Varka Sports Club in the 22nd minute. In the second half, the Paroda team dominated the proceedings and netted 5 more goals. Ashwin Fernandez, Cyril Dice, Frederick Fernandez and Sezwin Fernandez were the goal scorers. A children's brass band enthralled the spectators. Inacio Narona for Herald TV.
Crime branch of Goa police has filed a closure report in the case of the 19-year-old Siddhi Naik, whose body had washed ashore on Kalangut beach on August 13, 2021. We have further investigated the case. We have recorded statements of more witnesses in the case but could not find anything. We have filed the closure report. Let the court decide, says a senior police officer.
Now, the crime branch of Goa has filed a closure report in the case of the 19-year-old girl, Siddhi Naik, whose body was washed ashore on the Kalangut beach on the 13th of August last year. We have further investigated the case. We have recorded statements of more witnesses in this case, but couldn't find anything. We have filed a closure report. Let the court decide now, says a senior officer. Now the highlights are: police have recorded statements of more than 40 witnesses in this case. After initial inquiry and ruling out foul play into the teenager's death, on December 28, 2021, Kalangut police had filed a case of a murder against unknown persons. Later, the case was transferred to the crime branch for further investigation. The post-mortem report had cited that this death was due to drowning and the cause of the death was drowning. Siddhi Naik's father, neighbors and several people across the state are demanding justice. The girl's body was discovered in a busy stretch of Kalangut beach and her belongings could not be traced anywhere. Family members demanded that a murder case be registered and investigate all along those lines. Further, this case was registered as a murder. The matter was also being discussed in the House. All said investigations going on, but now it's something else. Herald TV will bring you more updates on this story soon. Clinton D'Souza for Herald TV.
Tourism trades may have enjoyed satisfactory business over the last 8 to 9 months with a steady rise in footfalls. But the extended weekend from Raksha Bandhan holiday lasting till Independence Day on Monday was a bonanza for hotels. Hotels registered close to 100% occupancy. However, it is learned that there was over 20% rise in the tariff, with Goa emerging as the topmost leisure destination among domestic tourists.
Okay, so with regards to this long weekend, we have seen that Goa has seen a sudden spike in the number of tourists that have come by road, air. So what do you have to say on that? How it has boosted the tourism industry post-COVID now with this long weekend, especially tourists coming from the North Bombay, from the North India, then Bombay, South India as well, and all parts of the country.
First of all, happy Independence Day to all your viewers from Travel and Tourism Association of Goa. In fact, it is a welcoming step that, tourists are back flocking into Goa. Being a long weekend, there are more tourists into Goa. Added to that, there is a Parsi New Year, which is there on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. That's tomorrow. So I think this extended long weekend, so we can expect more tourists from Maharashtra and Mumbai side. And I think after post-COVID, tourism had picked up into Goa, and this is a added advantage to Goa with tourists making Goa as the main destination. Now, if you compare with any other destination in India, Goa is always been preferred in monsoon tourism into Goa.
Correct.
And added to that, there are challenges, different challenges in different states of Goa. And Goa is fully open for tourists in monsoon over the years. And with the weekend around, as you said, flights, train, buses, all are coming chock-a-block into Goa, and people are coming by roads also into Goa.
Correct. Okay. So what do you have to say on the rise of, there are several now cases. The normal ticket to Bombay to Goa would, a round trip would cost you about 6,000 to 7,000. Minimum 4 to 5,000. But now on this weekend, the tickets have shot up to much more than 10,000. The prices of tickets have gone up. Then the price of hotels have gone up. There's inflation in the accommodation, travels, and also in the restaurants. So what do you have to say on that?
See, basically, if you go to see over the last 4-5 months, because of fuel charges going up, the airfare has gone up. And for weekends, the prices has always been quite high if you see compare for last few months. And this is no exceptional. Now, all airline, they operate on demand and supply thing. So they sell their, suppose if it is 100 seats, for example, 20 they sell at X, 20, another 20 on X plus 1. So accordingly, you can get the cheapest airfare, say, for 2,500 or 3,000. And then as flight goes full, the prices goes up. So I think this is a demand and supply situation. Similarly, hotels also, they also sell, if you book in advance, you will get at very good price. And near the date, as hotel gets full, the prices goes up. Now, this has been the way market is operating. And these are market forces which derives the pricing as far as your airline is concerned, airfares are concerned, and as far as hotel bookings are concerned. But even there are hotels which are reasonably priced, which are also available into Goa. So basically, it is where tourists want to stay. Accordingly, price has been derived. And if we cannot deny fact that there has been inflation because of the fuel prices going up. And with fuel prices going up, the airline price also goes up, because as you are aware, 40% of the cost, 35 to 40% of the airfare cost is a fuel cost.
While people enjoyed and relaxed on the long weekend, noise pollution on account of loud, nerve-wracking music was played unabated during the weekend. It continued to cause great trauma, harassment and disturbance to the residents of Anjana and nearby coastal areas.
While people enjoyed and relaxed on the long weekend, noise pollution on the account of loud, nerve-wracking music played during this weekend continues to cause great trauma, harassment, and disturbance to residents of Anjuna and nearby areas. Now, the locals have alleged that despite off-season rave parties and several other night parties are organized from Friday to Saturday until Sunday morning and afternoon, which continued next morning. They further complained that there were no checks on the noise pollution caused by them. Now, as per the High Court orders, the police are supposed to patrol the areas and curb such activities. However, the police have turned a blind eye. The guidelines state that any function or party where loud music is played should wind up by 10 in the night. However, the organizers of such parties flaunt these guidelines and continue playing loud music crossing 89 decibels till the wee hours, the residents claim. It is pertinent to the note that Chief Minister is also on record stating that most calls with regards to complaints against loud music parties are hoax. The locals claim that when the police team reaches the spot, they find nothing, but the ground reality is that the organizers are informed well in advance about the arrival of the police. They said that the police, who are supposed to curb the menace, support the same and by not initiating any action. Locals said that they complained to the police informing about such parties. The cops says no such incidents are reported. Now here is what some locals have to say. CM should personally come and visit and check the status of loud music played at the night. Calling the calls hoax is not acceptable. Loud music parties organized during the last weekend continued till next morning, but police did not take any action since these parties continue to be their extra source of income. A resident of Anjuna and social activist Ravi Harmalkar said. Now Desmond Alvarez, an Asagaon resident who is a former member of the Noise Pollution Monitoring Committee, said, I can hear the loud music even when my house is located almost 4 kilometers away from where the clubs and restaurants are located. Parties which played loud music on Friday, Saturday continued till next morning. Around 4 to 5 parties were played and playing very loud music and continued playing till next day 9:30 in the morning. However, when contacted the PI, he said, the parties organized during the weekend played music with limited volume and got over by 10 in the night. We did not receive any complaint of the parties playing loud music, said Anjuna PI Prashal Desai. The Goa police is against illegal, unsanctioned and secretly held events. If the event details are not being revealed, then Tramfias says as they are bad intentions and we won't allow such suspicious party to happen in Goa. In addition to that, any permitted music party has to stop by 10 p.m. sharp. No one can take law in their hand and we will not allow it to happen. We are constantly monitoring the social media to track down on such parties in the coastal belt, DGP Jaspal Singh said. A story by Ashmita Polji for Herald TV.
As part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, many politicians and citizens in the state commemorated 75th anniversary of the India's independence by organizing various activities such as motorcycle rallies, etc. to showcase their love for the country. However, many riders, including politicians in the state who participated in these rallies, were seen flouting traffic rules by not wearing helmets. Coordinator of Goa CAN, Roland Martins, spoke to Herald TV on the importance of observing road safety protocols when ministers, MLAs and other political leaders undertake motorcycle rallies. Riders must wear ISI mark helmets, said Martins.
Many politicians in the state were seen flouting traffic safety rules by not wearing helmets while participating in Independence Day rallies. Coordinator of Goa CAN, Roland Martins, spoke to Herald TV on the importance of observing road safety protocols when ministers, MLAs and other political leaders undertake motorcycle rallies.
Goa CAN has been receiving from yesterday messages, videos showing motorcycle rallies being undertaken by MLAs and ministers wherein the riders have been shown without wearing ISI mark helmets. This is a very serious issue as far as road safety is concerned. Many students, young people, youth are watching this on cable TV
on their mobile phones, and it's a message that is not good for road safety. Earlier, we had seen the similar situation with VVIP vehicles with their drivers and co-drivers not wearing seat belts. Goacan at that time had taken up the matter with the Director of Transport, Mr. Arun Desai, and subsequently a letter was issued to the General Administration Department asking them to be focused that all the drivers of government vehicles be wearing their seat belts. We have seen the compliance taking place subsequently. Goacan has now decided to write to the Superintendent of Police Traffic to issue an advisory to not only MLAs, ministers, ZP members, members of parliament, sarpanches, whenever they take out victory rallies or whatever be the occasion, and the use of motorcycles have been in the rallies, then it must be made compulsory that the riders wear their helmets. This is the best way we can set a precedent and send a strong message, set an example that road safety is being practiced by those in leadership positions in the political establishment.
Clinton D'Souza for Herald TV.
That's all we have in today's news bulletin. Thanks for watching Herald TV News. For more news alerts, please follow us on O Heraldo on Facebook and Twitter. Take care and goodbye.